Sato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar. Welcome to today's satsang. Today's question is, how can one live alone and have an independent, happy life? Without getting into an institution called marriage or live-in relationship. Is it required that one has to be in a relationship to fulfill his emotional, physical, and independent need? This question itself has the answer to it. If you wish to live an independent life, you will have to choose. Your limitedness is your boundary towards your freedom. What are your limitations? It differs from person to person. For a person who is working and independent has the limitation of their physical and their emotional needs to be fulfilled. And for a housewife who don't have emotional support, financial support, cannot do things onto her own. What is independence? What is freedom? Freedom is a choice that is given to you every moment of your time. Kal gives you the ability to choose. Choose the best version of your own self. And that is independence, which is already here. You don't really need some other independence other than the choosing of the right destiny for your own being. Several times people have asked you to be independent of your own perspectives, which is a falsehood. Even if you have your own perspective, there are billions of perspectives which are same as yours. Even if you have a choice, the same choice is with the other person also. The choice is illusion. You cannot live the life of your own will until and unless you recognize the unlimitedness nature of your own being, which is possible only when you realize your potential to the highest. And when I say realizing potential to the highest, I am not talking about your material success. or your ability to think, or your ability to process and concentrate on things and focus more into what is required. That is the power of Shakti, the power of Maya. You can choose to use the power of Maya to go beyond it. And that is the freedom. You don't have to get freedom out of your husband or your children or your parents. You just have to get out of the illusionary self that you have created within yourself and outside of you. Your potentiality depends onto the material success or onto the Shakti, the focus of mind that you carry, which itself is changeful, which itself is transient in nature. And if you wish to transcend this, then I am for you. I don't have anything to give you or to tell you how to increase your focus or how to increase your Shakti, because there are people telling you different ways to do that. What I can do, I can make you to realize the truthfulness of your nature, which is already here, rather than focusing on to gaining something which itself is consistent of losing it. I better prefer something which is already here, so that the fear of losing it would not occur. If you wish to touch or transcend the nature of your own being and coming into the source of non-being and nothingness, then only we are on the same page. If you wish to live a life of independence, and if you think that living alone is something that you must do to make yourself be free out of the situations, attachment and feelings that you suffer from other people, then it's not going to be true. Even if you are alone, even if you are sincere and fine with being alone and have all the financial, physical and emotional needs intact to yourself, still you might suffer. I am not cursing that you will suffer, but you might suffer, because suffering has nothing to do with independence. Suffering itself is an independent act. The act that occurs with our own perspectives and our way of looking into things. If right now you're looking at people around you and thinking they are bad for your own health and on your own success, it is just because you have limited mindset. Their toxicity is occurring because you are consistent of your own thoughts, which blame them according to the situations that you perceive of them, which is your mirrored reflections of them, not really them. Being alone can definitely solve your problem of the friction that gets created because of two people. You can avoid the friction, but the friction that is created within has nothing to do with outside. You may transcend the independence of being alone without anybody, but it would not definitely solve your problem until and unless you solve the problem of your friction which occurs within your mind from the situations or the reflection that appear into the mirror of your own self. Without that, the suffering is incurable. Still, if you wish to live alone and have less friction in life, that can be done. But it has a price to pay. And that price is way longer than the friction that has been created because of them. Your idea of independence may give you independence and also may help you come out of infrictional self-suffering which is caused by them to you. Still, it may contain few things which may trouble you too. Let me now give you the benefits of being with somebody. If you are being with somebody, you may get this access to the new perspectives of their own looking life. The perspective of growth gains over time by being with somebody. Your happiness is all consistent of their happiness consisting two people's happiness together, which is contagious. But again, the problem is not only happiness is contagious, suffering is too. Because you are the one who has a distorted mindset, you are suffering. That means you are contagiously suffering other people as well. For a person like you, you must live alone. And that is kindness and compassion that you have for people, not for yourself. Thinking that even your coming out of people will create less friction in their lives and your life, you can choose to live independent. This has the right perspective of being alone. But thinking that they are the reason and the cause of your suffering, that is why you want to let them go, will not create any difference in your suffering. If I come to you and give you a chocolate which you don't like, there is this way that you can choose either to eat it by giving up your idea of like and dislike, or else you can choose to not give it back to me and keep it to yourself and give it to some other person after I am gone. And there are different many ways that you can do. But these two basic needs is consistent of the friction created by giving a chocolate, which is action. And that action itself isn't causing any suffering or a pain to you until and unless you process the idea of likes and dislikes. So the suffering occurs when things are into the aspect of your perspective-ness of likes and dislikes. Basically, your suffering is the cause of your likes and dislikes. You like this and you dislike that. That is causing you to suffer. And if you really wish to come out of it, one has to go beyond the bodiness of their own existence. Which is possible. Which is your transcendental nature. Which is recognizing the self and the existence of its own being. You can choose your independence by weaving all the people around you and creating a less friction family within yourself. But only when you are free out of suffering. If you are suffering, you are with people, or alone you will suffer. If you are happy, if you are with people, or alone you will be happy. Independence is independent of itself. It does not require people to get out of your life. And I really want you to be independent. Independent of your own thoughts, of your own beliefs, of your own suffering, and of your own existence. Because all that is saying to be independent is merely co-relational with itself and creating a plant-based fungi within your mind, which is your beliefs and your concepts about how you wish to live. Thus shaping your destiny and creating everything in a loop called karma or maya. This maya is nothing but an illusionary cycle of birth and death which is created in your mind again and again by creating the same beliefs and structural things and ideas about things and people how to be. You have to be independent of them. Being independent means this. Choose happiness. Choose non-believeness. Choose non-existence. Choose nothing over something. Choose being empty over everything. Choose being zero then one, and you will transcend. There are many ways you can transcend. This is what I know, and I'm sharing you that. You cannot pursue things with a mirror created in your mind, which itself is fictional. I want you to forget everything. How you are, what you are, and how you want to be. Just with an open heart, choose freedom. Freedom of your own self, which is fully incorporated with life. Once you're cooperated with life, you are universe itself without the idea of being the universe itself. You can choose to be free only and only when you choose it. Not because I tell you to do this, just because you have suffered so much and realize that your suffering is the cause of your fiction around you and within you. If you have come to this point, then this video, this satsang or my channel is for you. Otherwise, we are not on the same page. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmamritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.